What's up, man? Got Big Dob with us. Got Mr. Coach Sean Morris here.
Big coach.
Yeah, man. We got some things we're going to talk about. Julius came to the prison, talked to some men. Had the Arnold last weekend. Got a lot to talk about today. This is the Push 'em Weight Show. So, man, I just want to say, I saw Julius at the Arnold. Mm-hmm. That's about 4 men put together in one body. That is a huge dude.
That is a big dude. He's 6'4", 430.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I saw him hit 740. He hit 740 on the bench in there at the animal cage. I think he was in the cage. Yeah. That is a mountain of a man. So I don't know if you know anything about Julius Maddox, but I think his best is 780.
780 unofficially. He said 795 unofficial.
Okay.
780 something was official.
So he went for 800 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. He went for 800. It'd be the only man to ever do this raw. Everything's raw. He went for 800. They misloaded the bar the first time.
Damn. I know he was sick.
Bro, the internet was going crazy for him. They misloaded the bar, and then I want to say he tweaked himself on the second attempt.
Damn.
And if I remember correctly, he almost had it to lock out, but it started tilting on him. So yeah. So as far as I saw online, he just started kind of like rehabbing and doing the small things.
Well, even with them having it misloaded, he was pressing. And it was just like you could tell one side was up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like Julius is probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met, being so famous.
Yeah.
And he got online and was like, "Don't say anything about who loaded the plates. Don't do this. It's, everybody makes mistakes. We're human. We're this, that, and the other." And he was, defending that person completely instead of being pissed off that he missed the record.
Yeah, that's awesome because they always say, "Never meet your heroes." And I had one of those instances where I had met somebody that I looked up to, and they held true.
Hey fam, I ain't that mean to you.
And that held true. I was like, man, I can't wait to meet this dude. And I met him, and it was like, all right, it sparked something in me to where I was like, all right, you're gonna know my name. Mm-hmm. You don't realize what you just woke up in me a little bit. But when I met Julie, I met him in passing. He was leaving, and I was leaving for my competition at the Arnold, and he was walking past. And it's so funny, obviously everybody there knows somebody, they follow somebody in the fitness industry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But when it comes to powerlifters and strongmen, there's you're famous to those people in the sport, know. There's this mountain of a man walking around, and you got average Joes that's not saying anything to him. And I'm sure he liked that because, he was able to actually leave. Right. But I stopped him, and I was like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you. I know Sean, and I seen that you would come to my town and talk to these men. I really appreciate you taking out the time for my community, bro. And, oh, yeah, absolutely. Sean's a good dude, man. I appreciate that. And I was like, I'm going to let you leave. I just want to say thank you, you know. So, very humble guy from the few seconds that I had, but the fact that he came out and did that for you guys, that was awesome. Can you tell us about that? 'Cause first, I'm trying to figure out how you got in contact with him. We gonna need to start hanging out if this is the people you kicking it with.
So, what happened was with that, and it's crazy. So, I was on Instagram years ago, and before I bought my dog, I was looking for a bully, and I'm on there just scrolling. And I see, how those random people will pop up?
Yeah.
It was someone random, some woman. I was like, but she had a bully. I was like, oh, message, hey, where'd you get that bully? I'm looking at buying one. And she's like, oh, my husband and I breed them. Cool. She's like, here's my, she's like, call me, blah, blah. And I'm like, question it. So I was like, waited another year, just message back and forth. And she sent a message to me, said, hey, we just had a litter. would you want one? I was like, sure, how much? And she told me, I was like, bet, let's do it.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'll give you my husband's number. You may know him. I don't know if you know who he is. I'll just give you my husband's number, and you can give him a call. And I'm like, all right. And she's like, when the dogs are born. Then. So I was like, well, just have him call me because if he's working.
Yeah.
And I get this call, and I'm like, who is this? Answer it.
God dang, Julius.
I answer it, and it's like, he's like, what's up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, he's like, I don't know if you know who I am. I'm Julius Matt. I was like, what? What? I was like, no way. And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm Julius Matt. I was like, all right then. And then we just started talking and kind of messaging back and forth and just, waiting for the dogs to be born.
Yeah.
And then once the dogs were born, we, myself and James Hessler went down, picked up the dogs. He has one from Julius as well. We went down and, did that. From then on, we just keep talking and, whether it's lifting stuff or random stuff like dogs and stuff like,
And that's where you got Bane from, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My bully is from him and has a great bloodline. We're working on trying to breed him. Like he has Gotti Line Dax bloodline, so his dad.
Okay.
His dad is B Squad Bullies.
Okay.
Corvinus, which is a dual grand champion. Like, yeah, my dog has great bloodline. So
Yeah.
working on trying to breed him. But with Julius, just message, talk back and forth for years since I've had Bane and stuff like that, and working on trying to get him up to do what he did this time.
Yeah.
And I did not expect him to bring the other guys.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be just like I thought. We'll ask Julius to come in, talk, and leave. And then he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come. If I come, I'm bringing my team." I'm like, "Fuck it, bring your team." Like, it's a prison.
I mean, I guess that's all right.
Right. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even know who was on his team. He's like, we're gonna bring the team, and I was like, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And didn't hear from him again. Like this is the start of end of February, end of January, start of February. I was like, hey, can you come? He's like, yeah, if I come, bring my team. Tuesday, he calls, was like, hey, I'll be there Friday. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, that's quick.
Like, right, it's just quick. And he's like, I'll be there Friday, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I'm bringing my wife, I'm bringing this. I was like, who you bringing?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like a little kid, like at Christmas, like, what? I'm jumping around. And I forget, like a lot of people don't know who TD Smash is. They don't know Brendan Copeland and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody at work and inmates and everybody at work are like, so?
Yeah. Like you need to pull up your Instagram real quick. Let me show you who I'm talking about.
Right. That's what I was doing. I was like, they are coming.
Yeah.
I was like, they're taking time out of the Arnold to come here.
Yeah.
And they came because he sent me the list, like all their IDs and stuff. And like, here's who's coming.
Yeah.
And he got there and he's like, TD wasn't able to come. He was just too tired because they were going on 3 hours sleep when they got to us.
Yeah. So where are they out of?
Well, Don Singleton came. He is out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
He runs the American Fitness Expo out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
That's his show. It's pretty much the South's version of the Arnold Classic.
Okay. Okay.
It's huge. Midwest Kong, Brandon Copeland, he's out of Toledo.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
He lives in Toledo. Like, he knew a couple, actually, he was walking across the yard, and this inmate walks by and turns around and goes, Brandon. And he looks at him, and they, like, dab each other up and are hugging and stuff. And he's like, that dude kept me from coming here.
Damn.
Like, he's like, that dude's one of the dudes that wouldn't let me go with him, riding along with him.
Yeah. Wow.
And there were some other people. And then, who else was there? Julius. Because they're like, C.T. Fletcher wasn't able to make it because his flight got in so late, he just couldn't get here.
And is he out of, what did he have? Did he have cancer? I knew he had heart failure.
He had heart failure. He's had cancer. He's had everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
just a monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was supposed to come. So they spoke, and each of them had their own story. From Midwest Kong talking about getting stabbed to Don Singleton talking about his 15 plus years in prison down in Texas.
Okay. I didn't know
Julius talking about his story of selling drugs and everything, going to prisons / halfway houses and stuff like that. And that's where he actually learned lifting.
Oh, okay.
Like he got into it late. He got into lifting late. And he said they had nothing to do with this halfway house, but they had old weights sitting there. And he would, instead of getting pissed off, he'd go down there and just lift weights.
Yeah.
And how many times have we all done that?
Yeah.
Just, fuck it.
Just the therapy. Yeah. The therapy.
And so he said he was in this room and he's just repping out 225. And said one of the guys told him, was like, just put all the weight on there and see what you can do. He said back then they didn't add up weight, just threw it all on. And he did every plate here. That's what we did. And he said once they added up, it was 500 pounds.
Damn.
And he said this is before he'd even got into actually lifting and the technique and everything else with it. He said he did 500 pounds like 3 times.
Holy shit.
Right, and that's without form. And
Yeah.
so from there on, they got with this person, that person. And but it was cool. It was definitely a cool story. And he got there, and like we had a stage built. Like when Davion came, we had a stage. But after he left, we're like, you know what? We got to make this better for everyone else. Mm-hmm. And my guys were upset that it wasn't good enough for Davion. And so
You
we
ain't
made.
gotta lie, bro.
No, they did. They were upset. They're like, oh, we should have had this and this and this. So we actually added 3 more stages so it all connects, so it's even
Nice.
bigger.
Okay.
And so these guys are up there talking, and Joyce is like, I'm like, man, dude, you cannot get up on this. He's like, nah. Because, I mean, it's big, but that dude's 6'4", 430 pounds.
Yeah,
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, I'm 250, so you got 4 of them guys up there. That's about 1,000 pounds when
they can't ride in an elevator together.
like I got up there because I was like, you know, I'm 320 right now, and I got up there and I was like, man, if he comes tomorrow, I was like, he cannot get up here. Like they all can't get up here together by any means. So we actually, before he got up there to talk, we moved the stage back. He's like, I'll just stand on the floor. But it was cool because he was like, he literally was like, he got there, he's like, I am the strongest bench presser in the world.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not ashamed of it. And he's like, I'll tell everyone in the world. He's like, no one's stronger than me.
Yeah. Flat out.
Right.
Yeah.
But all their stories, though, story of recovery and addiction and this, that, and the other, they had inmates crying.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and these guys are passionate about, like, if I have someone in, I had Davion in, these motherfuckers annoy me to death. Man, can you get this from me? Can you get this? And about his businesses and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
The entrepreneurship, the stuff that Davion did. They were, I mean, even now, they're still like, hey, I need more copies of this and that and this, that. Because they were just, they want to learn. They want to do it. And they got excited because I had people in. I had Dr. Dillard from Marion Tech in. He talked Black history. I had Matt Bell. I don't know if you know who Matt Bell is. He's from Toledo. Runs Team Recovery because we have a huge drug problem in prisons in the state of Ohio. And he came in, brought his film crew, filmed it, posted it on social media.
That's awesome.
We had about almost 600 people in the gym.
Damn.
Yeah.
So did the guys in there know kind of who Julius was? I mean, you said that some of the guys knew who
Some
Tom
did.
was, but
Some did, yeah.
some did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again in the prison, like I don't feel like I'm that big. I feel like I'm average size. They saw him walking across. They were like, "Oh my god!" You know, because he's so big.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, bro. A mountain of a man.
Yeah.
You know, and how big is Thor? I know he's what 6'7",
6'7", I think.
around there.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine. You know, you said Julius is 6'4". Mm-hmm. He looked a lot bigger than 6'4" when I had seen him.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, you know, just the height on Thor, but yeah, he was just a mountain of a man. I mean, his duffel bag looked like a satchel.
Yeah. And you know, him coming in, I was like, and he said he's bringing his wife. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, nothing tight, nothing revealing. And you know,
she better be wearing your clothes, bro.
and the thing is, she was. She had his sweatshirt on, some sweats, and Yeezys or something like that. I think they were Yeezy slides or whatever they were. And yeah, she came in. I was like, I'll just stand beside you because they're gonna say something stupid. But nothing was said. It went really well.
Respectful. That's awesome. I ain't gonna lie. When you sent me a picture of them all standing there with you, I live down the street. Like I literally live right down the street. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I bet if I catch them outside, I walk into the car or something. Like, nah, you gonna look like a clown, dude. Don't do that. Then they'll never want to come back. And I was like, man, I got a couple 3X in there, and I'm like, he's way bigger than a 3X, bro. I ain't got nothing for this man, and he's 1,000 yards from my house.
Right.
Damn. But yeah, that was awesome. You sent me that picture. He had told me that they was bringing them down.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had that thought like, man, if I just sit in the parking lot.
Yeah, the inmates are like, because I love strongman.
Yeah.
And I said, they're like, oh, can you bench? I was like, I don't bench that. Like strongman, you don't bench at all. Like, there's no benching in strongman. Deadlift, conventional deadlift. There's nothing. No, there's no benching. I mean, I bench a little bit. I don't go over if I even max out, I don't try to go over 350, 380. I'll go there.
Okay.
But my rotator cuffs will be like, I hate you.
Yeah, we ain't doing it. No. What was you thinking?
How long you been in the strongman?
Probably been doing strong. Crazy thing about strongman was I got into that because I was like, after I stopped coaching and to watch my son and stuff, I was like, why the fuck am I lifting all the time? I'm lifting this heavy weight. I'm like, it's just pointless anymore because I'm not like before. It was like when coaching, you're doing it with the kids and you're doing this, that, and the other. And then I was like, why am I doing it? Like, I don't want to lift heavy weight, and I'm not fit for CrossFit. And
man, I'm with you there.
So
You see, I signed up that one time. I still ain't.
But to me, strongman is my CrossFit because y'all be doing stuff where you're doing movements.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it ain't laying on a bench or under a bar, you're doing more cardio than I am.
But I probably been into it like 5 years now.
Okay.
And it was just one of those things where I was like, my girl's like, are you going to work out? And I have my own gym at the house and everything. And every time I'll be out there lifting, I'm getting it. And then there's like, I'm off for 6 months. Like, I'm not doing anything. And I was like, I have to be motivated. I have to have a reason sometimes. I was like, found my first competition. I was like, Googling like strongman and this, that, and the other. And because I'm old. I was like, I'm too old to be trying to power lift now. I'm too old for that stuff. I'm about to be 50 in 3 years.
Oh, okay.
And
Hey, just to let you know how old he is, he was my football coach when I was 16.
And you old, so
Man.
look at you.
so I was like, I found this competition down in Dayton. Went down, and it was I was a novice. I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And even at that, even at being an older, in my 40s, novice going to strongman, heavyweights, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to show out, see what I can do.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it was like one of the things, because it's all set weight, so you can't, like the one thing was deadlifting 300 pounds for reps. Well, one guy did it like 10 times. I was like, I could beat that. I was like, fuck it, it's only 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Repped it out 30 times.
Hell yeah.
And, I was like, okay, this is fun. Then I went on to the next thing, and pulled a bus. Never had done that before.
Man.
Pulled a bus. Atlas stones, tore up my arms for that.
Did you put the tack on there?
You put, I use duct tape or athletic tape.
Yeah.
Because that shit will tear you up.
Oh, yeah.
And then put that spider tack on, and you just cake it on and ruin whatever clothes you have.
Yeah.
So, like,
I've been seeing those Cerberus, I take it as more of a strongman brand or company,
Yeah.
There was actually a few guys that I had seen. I think Cerberus has shirts that have the not padding, but the grip on it.
They do.
And then I think I just seen like Ganglion Strength or Ganglion Strength. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
They have the same for their upper back. There was a couple guys in my competition that were raw that had those shirts on, and it said like place bar here on their back or whatever.
Right.
So they're they're getting innovative with it.
I have one. It works, but not like it's not the same as spider tack. Like
Really?
you get that stuff on you. So that was the first time. My first competition was first time I ever done Atlas stones, and I think even for that I bought one off of some guy down in Columbus, and I was like, how the fuck do I pick this thing up? And I'm like asking everybody, like, how do I do this? I'm trying to do this stupid sport of strongman, and
Yeah.
and I finally went over here to Pure Function, and he was like, hey, do this, this, and this, and I have a lifted truck, and he's like, drop that tailgate, we'll just put it in the. He's like, we're just gonna do it we're doing it on the road.
Right there on the street.
Right there on the street. Just picking it up, putting it in there.
Don't let it roll off the side right into traffic.
And so it was, that's how I started. And then the actual guy that put it on was Doug Madewell. And we just stayed in contact. And I told him, like, hey, it's my first show. I think I came in second in that.
Nice.
And after that, I was hooked. It was just, I was like, okay, this is fun. There's no one, the thing is, it's like, you're so used to competing in sports where people are against you, like they're no helping you.
Yeah.
Like in that, they're like, do it this way, do this, do this.
Yeah.
And cheering you on, whether it's a Viking press or whatever, they're like, okay. Because in that, how you register is the order you go in.
Okay.
So if you register last, and then you're the first person to go.
Damn.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like nationals, I qualified for nationals this year. I don't think I'm gonna do nationals this year, but there's still spots left. And I was like, ugh. Like if you're in that, if no one registers after you, you're the first to go, and you're kind of setting yourself up for failure because everything's based on reps.
Yeah.
So, whether it's I can't remember what's in the nationals this year, but it could be Atlas stone over bar for reps.
Okay.
I mean, I can get a 300-pound stone over a 52-inch bar 12 times, but if you go, now you know what the number to beat is.
Yeah. If I do it 13, then you got to do 14. Now you got a goal. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
absolutely.
how strongman works. So sometimes you register late, and you're like, I registered one this past year in Indiana. It was late, and I was like, fuck. And I screwed myself there.
Yeah.
But
How'd you do with that one? So you had sent me the one. I wish we could have gone. It was pretty close to my meet.
was that the one in Indiana?
Was it Indiana?
I think so.
Where they had everything at this meet, man.
Yeah.
They had strongman, they had powerlifting, they had arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Do they have slide boxing there?
I don't know. I think they did have it in there.
That's a wild sport.
Man.
That's ridiculous.
Arm wrestling's crazy.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling is crazy. There's some dude. I just seen a video. Kind of looks like an average Joe. You can obviously tell
I
he
seen
does
that.
something.
And
But there's a big dude.
Yeah.
Big old beard.
had your boy in the background. What's his name?
That was in the video.
Yeah, he was in the video. He was in the background. Your boy. I know you talking about though. Look like a regular guy.
Yeah, just looking like a regular guy. But this big bald, beard, big old dude, tall dude, getting all hyped up, yelling, trying to psych him out. And they said go, and he starts yanking on him, and that dude just starts laughing at him, holding on to him. And then he goes, hey, right here. And then he just started grinding him down. And I'm like, man, that's. I tried doing that one time. I was at Union Tank, and I was 19 years old and was lifting, So, of course, all the older guys in there bench all that weight. I'll beat you in my arm wrestle right now. I'm like, I don't do that.
Right.
But of course, it came down to this one guy. I've never been beat. I bet you can't beat me. And I was like, I bet I can't. What are we doing here, man?
Yeah.
But we ended up getting down on it, and I tweaked my damn bicep. I was like, this is why I don't do this. I got a meet in 2 months, man. Screwed me up.
Yeah, it's the one that I sent you. I was trying to get you guys to come. It was, they had powerlifting and those freaks. You guys are freaks over there, powerlifting. I don't understand it. Like, they were, like, the one team had a bottle of Jack, and they're, like, doing shot. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah. Doing that before deadlifts.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing?
They say it's to help suppress your CNS. I think it's bullshit. I think it's all a show. It's all, you don't see the big guys doing that.
I can't. But they're like smacking each other. I can't. No, don't smack me.
We do that.
I can't do that.
It's a fight or for me personally. It's a fight or flight thing. Like this past weekend, I try and take all of my lifts in a calm state. I learned when I was younger, I would get hyped up, and then I'd get out of position because I'd get all hyped up. I'd get underneath the bar and stand up with it, and then I'm a little wobbly because I'm just in just go mode instead of locking in, getting settled, getting set and going. But so I try and take a calmer approach. But this last weekend on deadlift, I asked somebody to give me a little smack before I went up to deadlift because my biggest thing, I needed to total 2,200 pounds again.
Should have brought Mike up there.
Now Mike hit me one time and it just completely threw me out. I was like, give me a smack. He hit me and I was like, I don't even feel like you needed to hit me. This is my house. Like at this point, you being disrespectful. You know what I mean? But I had to deadlift 710 to hit my 2,200 pound total. So, I asked my one dude, I was like, you got to give me a smack, because at that point, we had started at 9. The meet started at 9. And I think I deadlifted at like 5:30.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm tired. I'd already been through the third, energy drink and smelling salts. I'm just like, I need something to hit my fight or flight again.
Right.
I've done hit my adrenaline. Because I did get a look. So was you there when I benched?
No, so I had to leave. I was there from fam.
This is supposed to be my best friend, bro. You see
Fam,
this right now?
I still spent $200 on tickets. But no, bro, that shit's long, bro.
It is long.
That's long, bro.
It
We
is
was
long.
there. I did stand in the same spot from 9 o'clock to noon for you, fam.
I do appreciate
9
it.
o'clock to
I do
noon.
appreciate
9
it.
o'clock to noon, and it was only your third. You only did two flights. I missed the last lift.
Oh, I only did 2 attempts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
okay. Yeah.
I'm like, God,
We had 61 lifters on Saturday. So
I'm gonna tell you
they
what
broke up
though.
into 3 flights.
From the outside looking in, you had a crowd always around you. Like if we was there, I seen all three flights of the squad, and you probably had the biggest crowd around you. I'm like, okay then.
I was super blessed this week,
Yeah.
man. Shout out everybody that came to support me.
We should have brought some shirts. Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
Because like 2 or 3 people asked Skeet. It was the one I remember. The old guy behind me was like, what did he say? He's like, nobody likes us and we don't care. I need to get me one of them shirts. I was like, yeah, man, they on 740barbell.com.
Yeah.
Man. I was like, yeah, we definitely got to get that booth next year.
Yeah, definitely. But they had a strongman going on there. Did you make it out of the Arnold?
I did not. That's too many people. Working at the prison, you don't want to be around that many people.
Yep.
Like, it just gets annoying. I want to compete in it. I do. It's just... There's 2 different... there's United States Strongman, and then there's the National Strongman. It's like one other one.
Okay.
So certain ones can go certain places.
Okay.
So right now I'm United States Strongman. So those organizations don't have it where you're going into the Arnold and stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha.
I couldn't do like Strongman. We go in, do our sets, and that's it. Like we don't do it again. Like you go in, deadlift.
It's a 1 attempt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's you go until you fail, like log press. It may be you start out at whatever weight you want to start out. You come in when you want to come in. So you have guys starting out at 180 pounds, do a rep. Now they're waiting for the next 10, 180 pound people. Like I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start out at 250.
Yeah.
Because I know I can log press over 300. So I'm not going to waste time going in at 200 pounds.
Right.
But yeah, and then again, it's one of those things like, oh, you do 5 reps, I can do 6, cool, I'm done.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So you said you do some training at home. Mm-hmm. You got all that stuff. You have a log press. And all
I have a
that
log
stuff?
press. I have
Okay.
a log press. The work made me a Viking press, so it attaches to my one machine set up. Because my one competition I had Viking press, so they actually made it so it attaches, has where you can put however much weight on, and we just
Nice.
press away. Just ordered the turf for my garage. So I'll have padded field turf in there. I have the rubber floor plus padded field turf.
Nice.
Yeah, my dude Doug Madewell makes all my stuff. If work doesn't make it, he makes it.
Nice. Okay.
And he's getting huge right now. He's getting huge with making stuff from the Thor's hammer. He made my Thor's hammer and actually delivered it. He brought it from, he's Southside Dayton. He brought it up.
Nice.
Yeah, he drove it up last year. I was like, hey, here you go.
Nice.
And it's for his competition. Like, so I was, Thor's hammer, we just had to stand there and hold it.
Yeah.
And it was only 30 pounds, just trying how long I can hold it up. Like, I think I did 2 minutes and 5 seconds for it, 30 pounds with two. And it's, having Doug make stuff. He made me a multi-grip bar, so I have it's like a bench press, but you have,
Yeah.
I think 5, 6 different handles.
Like a football bar? Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. Nice.
Camber bars, anything I need, he'll be like, okay, here you go.
That's nice. That's good to have, man, because we've got one guy in the gym who's a welder. Mm-hmm. He works down in Columbus. And
I ain't never seen him weld nothing though. No, he made us a few things.
The one thing that he did build, he overbuilt. Like I had him build us a deadlift jack, and so I was like, really? I'm like, we really don't need too big a one, And at the most, at that time I only deadlifted like 694. So he brings this thing in, man, and he's made out of like 1.5 by 1.5 inch tubing, and it is overbuilt. And he was like, we're gonna be deadlifting 700 soon, right? And I was like, yes, but it takes 2 people to move this thing, bro. We're gonna have to chop this in half and then use it.
See what I deadlift at home. We have Doug actually made, and he's actually selling them online. Like, he's got guys repping them. The extensions for your deadlift bar.
Yeah, so because you guys, so when you guys deadlift, help me differentiate here, because I know that they were doing the elephant bar, right?
That is a 10-foot bar or something like that, 12-foot bar or something like that.
Yeah, so is that what you guys also at like a stand? Because I don't know if they do over and above at the Arnold. At a standard strongman competition, are you guys using something like an elephant bar?
You can, because elephant bars are crazy expensive.
Yeah,
crazy expensive. Doug actually made attachments that go on a regular bar to extend it.
Okay,
and he's got them on. Spud Inc. actually sells them for him.
Nice. So he's got some backing there.
Yeah, he's got
nice.
backing out there. I got them for free.
Nice.
He's like, I'm like, he's like, yeah, I got you. And we met and everything. But I got them there. It's all varies. Every place is different. It could be like, you could go sign up for a competition that says we're going to do, like, say, clean and press. But you get there like, okay, clean, press away. So you go from practicing cleaning it, putting it down, cleaning it, putting it down, to now I'm just going to press away. So it all varies.
And then you just continue to press it?
Right.
Okay.
It all varies, even with the bars. So you could have actual deadlift bars that's going to give you that flex.
Yep.
Everything we do is conventional.
Yep.
Conventional deadlift.
Do you wear a suit?
I don't wear a suit.
You don't wear a suit?
No.
They fucking suck, don't they?
I'm not trying to do that. I'm not even trying to squeeze into that thing.
I had one of there's another guy here in town that does strongman. He's getting into it, Corey, and he'd hit me up about a suit. He's like, what suit do you think I should get? And I wear a very basic. Louis gave me this Fusion deadlift suit when I was like 17. So it was in the used bin at Westside. So it's old,
right?
And it's maybe a single ply. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is what I use. I was like, some people use deadlift suits, And he ended up getting a metal deadlift suit or a squat suit. And he calls me up and he's like, I don't know how the fuck you guys get into these things. He's sending me videos of him hanging
on a bar,
trying to squeeze into it. And I was like, you might need to go do a little bit of running to squeeze in that, boy.
Yeah. I don't use them. I don't go. Like, even with reps, like, I don't go over 530, repping 530, and that's like 5 or 6 reps. Nothing crazy.
Strong.
I have an axle bar, so I use that, but I don't do it. I had knee replacement surgery, so got my knee replaced. And the guy that did it, the doctor did it in Columbus, he's like, I know you're not going to stop working out.
Yeah.
He's like, so it's bigger, it's this, that, and the other, but try not to go over 500 pounds. And, you know, I got my knee replacement because of couldn't walk hardly, but wanted to play with my kids and stuff. So I try not to go crazy with it. So I'll go 500, 550 maybe on deadlift, but I'm not going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Like if I have to, I would for like to win a competition, something like that.
Right.
But at home training, fuck it.
Did you ever? So you did a little bit of powerlifting in the past, or
Just
no?
lifting,
Just
just
lifting.
yeah.
Period. Have you ever done sumo?
No.
I compete in sumo, but I definitely feel like I'm stronger conventional. I like conventional. Sumo sucks.
Right.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, at the end of a competition, it's. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. It's easier to get it done.
Right.
My hands are swollen from bench. You know, the shorter path that I have, the better. But I'm much stronger conventional. It feels better.
Is that
honestly.
you think that's why they changed it to conventionals because of like hands being swollen and stuff like that?
Change it to
Like how you
sumo or
to sumo.
Yeah, I think personally, I think so. One, it's finding the every little advantage. You know, we've got a deadlifter in my gym. He's 181. He deadlifts 600, 605 around there, and he's super sumo. He's the kind of sumo that when you see online, you're like, bitch, that ain't a deadlift. You know, you gonna crush your toes.
He doing the splits.
Yeah, you gonna crush your toes, you know. And I keep trying to bring him in. I'm like, dude, come in. You're gonna be more powerful. I promise.
Right.
You know, being out that far, you're just it's a leverage thing. You know, let's gain the strength, okay, and then use the leverage if needed.
Right.
Let's not use leverage and then hope to gain strength. You know, you're going ass backwards. But that's what I think it is we're just trying to gain every edge as possible. Sumo does build your conventional. Conventional doesn't build sumo. And it's because conventional more so uses your hips and glutes. With conventional, it's more leg drive. And like I said, I feel stronger conventional. My hips are weak, and I found that out this weekend. I got ripped on this weekend.
Yeah.
I was talking to some of the guys, and they were like, "You need to start doing this, that, and the other, and you got terrible hip mobility." And I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "No, you got shit for hip mobility," and they're like, "And that's why your sumo sucks." But in a suit, conventional is fucking terrible. It's terrible to try, you know. So, and then again, just my hands, by the end of it, my hands are so swollen from wrapping so tight and squeezing the bar so tight on bench. So, and then all the sodium that you intake the day before and the day of to just try and make sure you're holding water. But, so yeah, I think the reason that that was the long answer is just finding every edge.
See, like, so what I did, like, so I train people out of my garage, my house.
Yeah,
That's why I
go
call
ahead. Put your plug out there, man. Put your plug out there.
Rule 12 Performance is what I do. That's what the turf is for. You know, working on using my history of 9 years as a head track coach. So we work a lot of speed stuff, work a lot of different things out of that.
Where? How can they find you if they've got an athlete?
Right now, I'm working on a website, so
Okay.
we're gonna have that up, and I'll get you guys the stuff later on.
Yeah.
But went with Rule 12 Performance. If you look in the Urban Dictionary for Rule 12, it's, you know, like you want to do the whole, like it's not to be, it's hard to explain, seen but not heard.
Yeah.
Don't be heard until you have to. It's
Yeah.
like one of those type deals.
Okay.
So it's like we're not out here making power lifters. I'm not trying to do that. That's your thing. My thing is to make kids fast, make kids ready for their sport.
Yeah.
Or families or parents or whoever, mom and dad, whatever, able to move.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks because I do strongman, like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I will straight up tell you, I don't do powerlifting stuff. That's not me. I don't do bodybuilding stuff. I know bodybuilders. I know powerlifters. I'm not gonna. I'll send you like, oh, you want power? Go to Jonah because I don't do that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, even with like elderly, most elderly people or most people in general get hurt from like, they don't get hurt from the fall. They get hurt from like slipping on something.
Yep.
Trying to grab, trying to do this. So I work different dynamics, different things. Also, with whether it's with my son, who's a college athlete, we train. He doesn't go anywhere else but at home, and he hates it sometimes. Puking, like we do banded tucks. So we actually do with him. Again, he's college long jumper, so we have to work explosiveness. On my yoke, we use the catch arms that put the two of the heaviest bands. Now you're doing tuck jumps into those bands, and you're not getting it like getting 6'4" with a 41-inch vertical. Now you're just 30 seconds. It's go.
Yeah.
I think he puked the first time.
And to be clear, there's a lot of college athletes out there, but I mean, your son's he's got accolades behind him. So, you're watching this. It's not like he's just training every little bit, or every little person that's going to a small college. You said you were telling us earlier he's ranked.
Yeah, he's ranked. I think this year in the indoor season as a long jumper, he's ranked in the top 30 in the nation for Division II.
So if y'all looking,
right.
He ain't just working out chumps. He's making college athletes
Rule 12.
puke.
12. Yeah, so it is like again. It's one-on-one for an hour and 15 minutes of just go. Like, we just try to go. And Tyson Waddle from River Valley, I trained him.
Yeah.
That dude, made first team everything last year.
What number was he?
44.
I think it was is he the jacked, is he, there was I want to say it was their linebacker.
He's a linebacker.
It was either 44 or 33. What school did he go to before? Did he come from a Columbus school?
He's always been.
There was some kid, I went to a game last year, and he was out there, and I seen him, and I was like, all right, I need to get a hold of that kid. That dude's got some, he already had some arms on him, and I think somebody said that he came from, Worthington, or a school down south.
That I don't know.
So I was going to say, if it was him, keep doing what y'all doing.
Tyson is getting big. He's, again, I'm not trying to get him huge in practice. It's more about speed.
Functional.
We do a lot of band work, a lot of things that most people don't do. From working hip flexors, where you're on your knees, driving your knees through to a step, different things. Everything. But, you come to my house, you're doing it. You got to deal with my kids coming out.
Yeah.
They're coming out, what are you doing? You're doing. They'll tell you you're doing it wrong, even though they have no clue. They're like, you're doing that wrong.
Yeah.
But just trying to, make my mark. Not trying to be I want to run everything like that, but I just want to try to make my mark. And I know when I was coaching, I feel like I had athletes that you took. I was coaching at Marion Catholic, and everybody back in the day, how people look at Marion Catholic, Davion, back in the day.
Yeah, we was bottom of the bottom.
Right. And I think there are some great athletes came out of there.
You was bragging about starting on that team, bro.
Hey, but the thing was, those guys worked hard.
Yeah.
I'm talking, because they knew they had to, they're not coming off the field. They're not doing this. And but it was one of those things where you scream and yell at each other and then walk off the field you're making fun of each other now.
Yeah.
And that was the first place. I mean, I lifted at Harding, obviously. I'm saying? They had a big weight room over there. But it was that's just what we were made to do. We just had to go lift. But, I can say, Morris, when I went to Marion Catholic, and it was after that first season and we was in the weight room, that's when I first was like, damn, I kind of like lifting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think he had pushed me. Remember, I could only work out with you because nobody else in there could lift what I could lift. So I think I was.
Man, bro.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You see me now. This is my dad bod when I was a young tenderoni out here. But yeah, man, I think Morris really got me, what I'm saying, to love lifting, and I wish I would have stuck with it after I left, what I'm saying? So
did you use bands back in that day as well?
We didn't use bands for that. It was more, my bands used then were more for track use.
Okay.
We'll band you and just, you're going to run against, as someone else is pulling, you're trying to keep that speed up and stuff like that. Mine was more of a speed thing. I'm definitely enjoying I enjoy the speed aspect of it. I know everybody's like, oh, you don't know anything because I'm 320 pounds now, but I'm, coaching for 9 years, dealing with those guys coaching, things I've learned from other coaches, and then, my son and stuff like that. he got to the college level, and they even at the college level at Ashland Division II, which they are every year ranked nationally.
Yeah.
This year, I think they're 12th in the nation right now as a team.
Yeah. Oh, they was killing it over there.
They thought he was older because of what he had learned and everything, and it was nice because like Coach Bohannon at Harding was like, actually, let me go backtrack. His seventh grade year, the coaches were like, "Oh, you're Caden's dad. Like, go ahead, got him."
Yeah.
And and that's the reason why I stopped coaching was because Caden wanted me to coach him, so started doing that, and then stayed with him all the way through. And then even in college, like there's times where the coach is like, "Hey, can you watch him? I'm going to go do this." And
Yeah.
so and the coach and I talk like, "Oh, he's not doing this, and can you get him to do this?" But they know like I'm about like speed and strength and form and stuff like that, and he's on spring break right now, but he's like, "We get back, I got to do this, this, and this." And
Yeah. People always see that's the difference. I could tell. Obviously, you took your time and you studied and you researched to see what was going to get the best results. And what I always run into or have ran into in the past is coaches, sport coaches, just kind of throwing their kids in the weight room with the bigger, stronger, faster program that they got offline, and just let them, have at it. You
Right.
know? And if there's any kind of new information that comes along, I got told when I was in high school, I'm not going to name the coach, but I was training my sophomore and junior year and senior year. I was down at Westside. And Lou told me, he said, "Hey, if your coaches want to come down here on a Saturday, bring them down. I'll tell them, as much as they want to know, and I'll answer any questions. We can spend a whole Saturday down here for free." So I went back and I'm like, "Yo."
they didn't do it.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, coach." Like, Lou said you guys could come down with me on a Saturday morning workout and y'all can talk all day long. And he was like, "Do you know how many All-Ohio athletes I've had off of this bigger, stronger, faster program?" And I was like, "Do you know how many college and professional teams go to Lou and
Right.
ask, you know what I mean?" And he's like, "No, we're good." And so I was doing the stuff that Lou was telling me to do during our workouts. And 3 weeks into it, a coach came up and, "What are you doing? I was doing speed bench. As a defensive lineman, it's something that's going to be definitely beneficial, "What are you doing?" And I told him, and I was like, "Lou told me to do this." "Well, you can play for Westside's football team." I'm like, that's crazy,
Right. And that's a lot of ego, though. That's a lot of ego. Like, and that's what coaches deal with. Like, a lot of coaches deal with like that whole ego. Like, it's my way or no way.
Yeah.
And when I started coaching, I was like, when I started coaching as an assistant coach, I went in and like, okay, I know everything about running backs, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I started coaching. They're like, "You're going to coach the offensive defensive line." I was like, "What?" I was so pissed. I was like, "These motherfuckers!" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't care." I almost quit.
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't like this," and and I was like, "You know what? Fuck them. I'm going to learn everything." And the thing is, when I started coaching and they did that to me, they helped me for real. Like they were like, "You're coaching offense and defensive line." I did that for a year, 2 years, I don't remember what it was, and then went from that to, and again, I was like running backs. And I went from there to tight ends, and then to wide receivers, and then to quarterbacks, then to running backs, and it was definitely I have to thank them for like all my coaching stuff and everything, because if I'd have been like, going to running backs and this is what I'm doing, no, and even. Like when I started coaching, I was like, I want guys that I don't have to coach. We all just come in here and do it together. Like Matt Waddle coached with me, Corey Chapman coached with me.
Yeah.
All of Matt Waddle's staff, like Dan Arndt, Rick Jenkins, Ramey Large, all those guys coached with me at one point, or we coached together at one point. So, like that's how that's how it was. Like line.
Yeah.
And it took a lot to learn that. Just to get the ego away.
Yeah.
To get the ego away, because young and cocky and like,
Yeah.
and that's what hurts a lot of coaches, I think.
But I can tell because of something that you said earlier, you're trying to leave your mark. You're not trying to conquer the world, you're trying to leave your mark for the community. And we see that through not only the training that you're doing, but the things that you're doing at work, bringing these people in. And so we see that, So I can tell that you have the mentality of, let me put me aside, do what I got to do to learn to make sure that these people are getting the best that I can offer.
I'm definitely
and that's
trying.
the difference. That's the difference. That's where you get quality, quality coaches, quality people.
I'm trying. It's one of those things, like for me, I love coaching. I love the aspect of it and everything. My kid, I'm not that dad that's out there clapping and cheering. I don't clap and cheer for Caden. I don't clap and cheer for any of my kids playing sport. I'm there just sitting.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy him running track. I don't enjoy him playing. He was, and when he got to college, he was actually doing football and track. So he's doing two sports up until this year. And and it's not that I don't enjoy it. Let me get that straight. It's they know what to do. So I don't need to be that dad that's like screaming like, "Oh, you're not doing."
Yeah.
Like you know what to do. You know what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
And so I just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. When it comes to work, if you were there, like Davion came in, you'll hear, and again, it didn't happen that day, but you'll hear inmates ask about my son.
Yeah.
Because he came in and played basketball against them or with them, actually.
Okay.
And I don't talk about my daughters, of course, in there.
Yeah.
Because I'd flip out. But, I talk about him. They ask about him. Like, you'll have inmates like, "Oh, what's your son doing? How's he doing here?" I was like, at one point, his sophomore year, he was ranking like, what was it, in the conference, he was like number 2 in the conference at Ashland, and then he was, I think, 17th in the nation.
Wow.
And so but, my kids, you'll never see me at some place like screaming and yelling for them. It's like, you know what to do. I'm not that parent that's like, "Oh, you did this wrong."
Yeah.
And we don't talk sports in my house, honestly. It's crazy. We don't talk with, all my kids play sports, all my kids doing something. And we don't talk like.
I think that stems from being a coach as well in the past because I have been to a lot of games where my little brother was playing. He just graduated last year from Harding. And I was one of those older siblings that was hollering in the stands until I started coaching. And then once I started coaching and then I got out of coaching and now I'm back up in the stands, I'm not going to be yelling because I promise you the coaches want to win too.
Yeah.
Right.
I promise you the kids want to win too. There's nothing that they are doing that's purposely trying to lose that game or their position.
Yeah.
So what is you yelling gonna do for anybody except lose your voice, spike your blood pressure,
Exactly,
and ruin a night for you?
And that's like what I told you. I trained Tyson Waddle.
Yeah.
That dude pisses me off during games. I'm like,
you better listen. You better be hearing this. What? Your next training session is about to be hell.
And and he knows it already.
Yeah.
But again, I've known him since he was born.
Yeah.
Like Matt and I coached together. Matt's like family. Like that's another brother to me. And it's like he came off the field at halftime of like one of the games. I was like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like Matt. Tyson's doing this. He's like, "Tell him." And then I'm like, "You're doing this wrong, this wrong, this wrong." And I'm like trying not to coach him, but it's so hard to because of my love for Tyson. It's like I expect you to do this. I don't cheer for him, still not cheering. But here's what I see you're doing wrong. Here's what you got to fix.
Yeah.
We've talked about it even this winter, working out and stuff like that. And this dude is like, he does the River Valley workouts.
Okay. He's running track.
He's lifting during the winter, lifting
okay.
River Valley. Does the workouts and then comes to my house and we still train, whether it's a speed training, banded speed training, whatever we're doing that day.
Yep.
And I'm like, this kid's just killing himself to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's times where like we take it real easy, and there's times where he pukes.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where's the bucket? Where's the bucket?" And I'm like, "Dude, we barely did anything."
Yeah, you walked in the door. What you talking about?
But it's just one of those things where if I train you, whether it's a guy, girl, parent, son, whatever, whoever I'm training,
Yeah.
like I know I'm going to get attached to you. I know I'm going to try to get the best out of you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything to that person, man, woman, child, whoever it is, that I wouldn't do to my own kids.
Right. Yep.
And I'd probably be easier on them than my own. Like, I'm pretty tough on my kids when it comes to training.
Yep.
But at the same time, like, I want people to know, like, when I train you, it's here it is. It's this. It's not I'm not doing this to have fun and torture you. I'm like, do the same thing to my wife, to whoever. Like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
man, you better not go out there because if he making them throw up,
I did hear you threw up, didn't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. caught me on a little hangover. Just want to go.
you was not hung over, bro. Don't even.
Hey, man, I had one twisted teeth.
Look at you. Keep going. Hey, listen,
No, I ain't
bro.
gonna lie, bro. I was in there hot. Remember, you was like, bro, I don't know how you wearing all that. I had on some sweatpants.
He
and stuff,
basically. I mean, he had sweatpants on. He had his hoodie, you know, and that was the day I was putting him through more of like a bodybuilding style workout, you know. So a lot of reps, a little less weight, you know, in between sets. You know, we did some squats. Then we went in to go do some hack squats. He did his first set of them hack squats. He sat down and he looking.
Hey.
I might pull me a Jeffrey. I said, what? Because we had one of our friends come out to my spot, and we didn't even do nothing crazy that day.
I think we just doing them sled. Well, we did a whole workout, but we did sled pulls at the end.
I don't even think we did sled. No, we didn't do sled pulls. We did rope.
Oh yeah,
we did rope.
Yeah, that's what
like,
it was.
It was literally a rest day for us.
Yeah.
So we went out there, and our dude was like, "I'll come out there." Like, all right,
Talk shit for like 6 months.
man. Yeah. So he come out there. We did just some light stuff, and he ended up throwing up. So he said, he's like, I might pull a Jeff. Where's that trash can? And I'm like, you serious? He's like, yeah. And man,
You know when your mouth start watering, it's over.
his mouth was sweating. My mouth was sweating. So you better stay away from Rule 2. You better just stay at Rule 11.
You know what I was thinking? Nah, man. You sit here talking, man. That's what Kingston need. That's what Kingston need, man.
You need me to punch him in the gut? Oh,
listen,
what?
listen. I'm bringing it. I'm about to start him back up at 740 because he ran track last year. I'm kind of happy he's not running track this year because I never ran track in school. I was just naturally fast. You know what I'm saying?
Coach ain't saying nothing, so I know you fucking lying.
Because he already know he ain't got to back me up. He already.
Coach over here would have been like, he was fast. He did have some wheels on him. No, you over here lying.
He was fast.
Come on now.
Now, don't get me wrong. He's trying to get out of doing the thing all the time. Like, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. My ankle.
Listen.
One of those kids that, Coach, you already know I'm fast. I need to do these.
Hey, but it's funny though because Kingston is the same way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just watching him like after this freshman season. So he did football, play some varsity, basketball, JV, and just watching him come out of his shell this year and just seeing like what it took, you know what I'm saying, on that varsity level. I'm like, that's what I told him yesterday. I'm like, Kingston, you have 3 years left. If most people after these 3 years don't never get on the field ever again. Yep. I was like, and I didn't even make it that far. I said, after my junior year, I never touched the field ever again in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you got to take these next 3 years serious. So I have him out there at phase 6. I'm about to bring him back in the gym when we start next week. Yep. And then I was like, shoot, I might see what you talking about at Rule 12. Yeah, man. I was like, because now that I was thinking about it, I was like I just said earlier, I said, man, you was the one who really pushed me the first time I've ever been pushed in the gym. Before that, we just worked out and tried to get our workout done as fast as we could so we could leave. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that might be something for him.
Man, honestly, Kingston, because you know, I'm about to be back and forth. With Doghouse. It sounds like Kingston about to get the best of 3 worlds, honestly, because if he can meet up with, phase 6, some Rule 12 and 740. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna need a little chunk when he get a contract. Okay?
Hey, like you said, fight or flight.
NIL deals.
Either he about to love this shit or hate this shit.
It's one of those things like you got to have them love it. Like it's got to be like that. You got to find what makes them love it.
Yeah.
I always think I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
I always feel like when it comes to high school kids, and I was telling him this, I feel like with high school kids, they love it when they see a result.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things of like the moment that they look in the mirror and they're like, oh shit,
Right.
you know what I mean? Then it turns into an obsession.
Yeah.
It turns into a man. I know the last 3 weeks I did this amount of work, and I got this much result. I'm gonna go in here and do this much work and hopefully get this much result.
Right.
You know, so they start pushing themselves more, and then, you know, I know that's how it was for me when I was in high school. It turned into, you know, seeing a little bit of a result and being like, okay, bet when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna bust out 30 push-ups. And then I had a little Walmart bar with some, you know, weights on it. Bust out some curls, bust out some, you know, military press, some
That
rows.
one you gave Kingston?
Yep.
Yeah, and I've been seeing him use that, like, literally, he's been out of basketball for 2 weeks, and he's asked me probably every other day, like, when we going back out there to jump? I thought we was
Yeah.
working out today. So it's like, I feel he's finally getting to the point where, and matter of fact, yesterday, he worked out at Phase 6. He's like, Dad, we still got that ladder. I'm like, what the fuck do you need a ladder for?
Yeah.
And he's like, that ladder.
He was trying to get fix something. Got
Yeah, that's
excited.
what I'm like. And then he's like, no, I'm about to go work out. I'm about to work out in the yard. I want you to throw the ball to me. And I was like, oh, that, man. And I bought him that ladder when I got videos of Kingston when he was like 5.
Yeah.
So I bought him like the ladder, the parachute, the
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, the little hurdles. When he was like 5 years old off of Amazon.
Yeah.
That shit's been tucked away for like 10 years. And he's finally wanting to bring it out. So I'm like,
You
okay.
throwing the ball?
Yeah, I was out
Yeah,
there.
look at him. He over there.
You know, I ain't gonna lie.
Look
I was
at
like,
you.
damn. Because I was trying to wing it at him, you know what I'm saying, when he was coming off that ladder.
Hey, I already know. I see it in your future. Yeah, man. I went and bought one of the guns, one of the ball guns that they
Hey,
got.
yeah.
You know, that's what you about to be
Hey, here
Nah,
I am.
what you do is you buy tennis balls.
Yeah,
Tennis
okay.
balls. Don't even.
for more of the
And you still no, it's
smaller
still.
target or what?
It's no, you still as you're throwing them.
Okay.
It's you still do everything everything the same way. You still have 2 hands, everything.
Okay.
But and you don't have to swing it hard right away, but it's still
You know,
trying
you
to
can't
grab
anyways.
it.
Yeah.
You try to grab it. You're still trying to put your hands around it because it's going to bounce off.
Okay.
It's going to bounce off. and
Oh,
it's-
okay.
Yeah. So you can like for linebackers, you use tennis balls, do the different drills and stuff like that. But I don't use parachutes. You can. I don't like them. My thing is more band work foot speed. Yeah, it's just like you were talking about when your son was little. I have a picture when I was coaching at Mary Catholic. We were at Lima Perry.
Okay.
And it's me and Caden. He's probably 3 years old. And it's from me talking to him at the end of the runway to him jumping in the sand of a long jump pit.
Nice.
And a parent gave that to him. He was like, oh, here you go. And actually put it in a frame. And it's showing all these steps of him doing it. And then to seeing him doing it in college now, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
And then my youngest son, who's 2, we went to a track meet a couple weeks ago. And like, I go out there to where they're at. Like, Caden's like, Dad, get out here.
Yeah.
And my son's with me. And like, he's watching the pit and watching his son. And just to see those 2 interact, because Caden's 21, he's 2. And it's like that interaction, like what kind of athlete's my youngest son gonna be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun thing, we do. But everybody I train, like everybody, and honestly the biggest thing I get was when parents call them like Lance Shipley, I trained their son, and he plays soccer for Harding. He's like, oh my God, he's fast. Like because we worked all winter. A lot of puking, a lot of crying. He
Did you
was
say Shipley? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jackson? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good kid, dude.
Jackson was
Great
just
kid.
like we worked all winter, all summer and stuff last year. So fast,
Yeah.
so fast, and you could tell on the soccer field. It was just like, wow, this kid is fast.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoy is when the parent calls says, okay, look at this, and send me films of him at a game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy. That's why I do it. I'm like to get that parent like you're not just wasting money on somebody. You're not just I'm drop my kid off and see what happens. Like when they see it on the field, see them get faster.
Listen, man, I got $2.5 million already invested in Kingston. Like I said, man, we try to get him in the right program.
Man, I'm like, man, how do I get Caden NIL deals and stuff?
Man.
Because I got a friend, his daughter runs for Arkansas. She got all kinds of money now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, these NIL deals.
Dude, how do you feel about sled drags? Do you ever do those?
We do.
Do you guys ever run with a sled?
I don't. We do sometimes. I'm not a big fan of it because of the jerking
Yep.
motion of it.
Of the running? Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm more of pushing it with good form.
Full contraction,
yes.
control. Yep.
But I don't like running too much with it just because of jerking it. 'Cause,
Yep.
you know, there's not going to get the same speed. But like for me, like when I work starts and stuff, it'll be like, say if you're working your 40 time.
Okay.
I'm going to put you down in a 3-point stance, not as in like a sprinter stance.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to sprint out. I'm going to mark where your first step was. Okay, now the next time you come back, here's where your first step is. I want to see you drive harder and see that next step, the next step.
A little further out.
You're going to get further out automatically because you're telling them, drive farther than this
Okay.
tape mark or whatever
Yeah.
it is. You're going to get that extra step.
Yeah.
Now it's watch the head movement, head down, the drive phase, and every aspect of that run. That's what and then once they run it and their time and everything, it's like, I told you could do it.
Yeah.
Especially someone that's not fast and you make them faster.
Yeah.
That's what excites me.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a kid last night. His mom had reached out to me. He's a freshman out of Pleasant. His very first powerlifting meet is going to be the state meet in 2 weeks. The state powerlifting meet, and he came out last night, and I'm like, I'm going to check your form on stuff. We're going to go over form. You can ask him. I'm form and technique. I don't care what you think you compress. If you compress it with good form, that's your number.
Right.
I'm like, so we're going to see what your form and technique looks like on bench first, Tweaked a couple things. He actually ended up hitting a 10-pound PR. And the smile on that kid's face after, because we have a 55-pound bench bar. And we don't tell nobody that until after they hit a PR. So we put 2 plates on there. And in his mind, he's thinking, all right, 225. This is tying my best, So he went out, he pressed it great. And then we put a 5 on, went for 245. He ended up not getting it. And he kind of hopped up, and I was like, hey, you already hit a 10-pound PR. This is a 55-pound bar. And a smile on his face, man. And, his mom after, for people like us, like that's my payment. Right. That's my payment right there. Go out and do something great for yourself, and that's my reward out of it.
Right.
Just being a part. I've always said I just want to be a part of greatness. So
see, like last year when I was training Jackson, like he hadn't lifted. Mm-hmm. Like he's a soccer player. And it's nothing against him. That wasn't his thing.
Yeah.
So we're in here deadlifting, and I have a Texas deadlift bar.
Great bar.
But that gnarl on that is ridiculous. And
he started getting calluses.
They ripped those things open. Yeah. He's bleeding. I was like, like he's not coming back.
Yeah.
And he went for I'm not saying he was soft, but he was not wanting to train. You could tell he was like, parents are making me be here. Mm-hmm. To coming in and just killing it.
That's
killing
awesome.
it. And, we had type up his hand because he was, and I was like, man, he's not coming back because he just tore his hand up. Came back and it was like, okay, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And again, that's the things that excite me. Seeing those guys or girls doing crazy, like Copenhagen holds, like just working that, like sitting on the bench and just, you know what Copenhagen holds is?
I don't. I was going to ask
okay,
what that
okay.
is. Yeah, go
so
ahead.
The way I do Copenhagen holds is you lay on your side on the ground.
Okay.
One leg up on the bench. For a timer, you tuck your other leg up to your chest and hold. Like you lift yourself up. So you're holding with your forearm.
Okay.
And your leg is holding you up off the ground
Okay.
for 30 seconds. Kills that.
Inner thigh.
Inner thigh, adductor.
Yeah.
And from that to, we had people that couldn't even, guys and girls, try to hold something.
I probably couldn't do it. I can't.
It hurts. It hurts. But they work their way up. We start out 15 seconds, see what you can do. And then, talking to them, and, okay, stop. Oh, it's 30 seconds. It was?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of sometimes how I do things, so their mind's off of it.
Yeah. It's very much a mental thing sometimes.
It is. But if you train with me, you get I am not one of those people that's I'm the best, this, that, and the other, but I am you can. I know my attitude rubs off. Like I guarantee your attitude rubs off on the guys at your gym and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like you come in with train with me. You're like you're going to be cocky. You're going to be a little arrogant, but not like a total asshole or anything like that.
Yeah.
But again, like if I have people come in like I want to powerlift, don't come to me because I don't have a clue. Like I could probably do it, but I don't want to. Like it's. I have a friend that bodybuilds, Andrew Mitchell. Got his pro card, I think, a couple of years ago. I don't know if you know Andrew. He graduated from Pleasant. Like, that's my dude. Like, 5 foot. You know, he's a bodybuilder. He's like 5'6", maybe.
Yeah.
He's short, but he is
Massive. Where's he? Is he in Marion?
He's not in Marion. He grew up in Marion, went to Pleasant and everything, but he's up in Massillon now.
Okay.
But we still talk, and he's actually going to come in and talk at the prison as well.
Okay.
Nice.
On some stuff, and he's actually going to come in and work, showing them how to use the weights in the prison. Because I can tell them how to lift, and they see me every day.
Yeah.
And they know I do strongman. They know. So that for me to tell them time under tension, because they all use everything's cables.
That's what I was going to ask you earlier if they still had weight room in the prison.
We do have a weight room. It's just everything is on cables.
Okay.
So, and there's no gym etiquette there. So,
Yeah.
they're like, I'm getting this machine, and they're on that machine for an hour. Like, what are you doing on this machine for an hour?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's ridiculous some of the stuff they do. I just look at it and just keep on moving. I can't. But he's actually going to come in and talk nutrition with them, and he's going to talk how to use the machines properly and how to build just
Nice.
on a cable machine.
Nice.
So, I mean, and he's jacked. Like, but like when I say bodybuilding, like this dude was living in Vegas for years.
Yeah.
The mecca of bodybuilding.
That's what I was just going to say.
And, you know, he went out to Vegas, lived there for years, came back, has been in Florida for years, did this, that, and the other. And he is a monster.
Yeah.
Monster. But yeah, he does, he lives up in Massillon, doing training as well and doing some different things.
Nice.
But I talked to him today, and he's actually helped me get some comedians in to
Yeah,
the
you were
prison.
telling me about that.
Yeah, you didn't tell me that people thought you was funny.
Man, they loved him coming in. They
Really?
loved it, yeah. Loved it.
Because you kept throwing out my name. I heard you was throwing out my name out there.
He did throw out your name.
Well, that was the joke.
Oh, now you got jokes.
But yeah, it's you know, I brought in these stickers for you because, like, the Rhino.
Yeah.
I know, like, kind of what the Rhino is the strength side of my Rule 12.
Nice,
The
okay.
Rhino is the strength side of my Rule 12. I do have the winged foot, which is here.
Okay.
It's a winged foot. Actually, looks like it's tearing out. Your skin's tearing off of it. If you saw the actual picture of it, that was something I started like back when I was coaching track. It was like that winged foot because your speed, and that's what I do. So I carried it on to everything I do. Like again, with Caden has it on all his stuff for high school, junior high school, and in college. It has so he has Ashland shirts with the winged foot on it.
Nice.
And it's all every year like, Dad, I need this winged foot on my Ashland shirts. I need this, that, and the other. So I incorporated it into my speed and strength stuff as Rule 12. Like
Nice.
because I work speed, I work the strength. So I wanted to give you guys the stickers and stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna have to put these on our table runner.
Yeah, definitely,
But
definitely.
yeah, it's just something we do, and you know I got it tatted on me as well. So
Nice.
it's just I'm excited about Rule 12 and excited about Strongman. Strongman's exciting. There's so many different shows, so many different competitions and stuff. It's like, do I want to do this one? Do I want this one? And then having a family because like I've been to Michigan, I've been to Kentucky and different things to compete. It's like I want to go farther, but then I got a family, like,
Yeah,
and I can't ask her to come, her and the kids to come
yeah,
because they're little and they're
Yeah.
running around stuff like that. So I go by almost all my competitions. I go to by myself,
yeah.
which is fine. But I realize I'm so like, how far? What's the farthest competition you guys go to?
West Virginia.
Do you go by yourself or have your whole team?
My whole team goes.
Okay. I go by myself and sleep in a hotel by yourself. When you have to compete the next day, you're like,
Yeah.
man, it's too
This
quiet.
sucks. Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
too quiet because your house is hectic. You're everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
And then all you're thinking
Yes.
about is what you got going on.
Yeah.
And distraction is good sometimes, man. I mean, distraction is good. When you're in the heat of it, sometimes just being able to kind of talk to somebody and then go back and refocus. You know, he said he was behind me when I was getting ready to squat. He was trying to crack some jokes, but
Like
thankfully
I said,
he did.
Yeah, the whole time, bro. You know me, I always got something to say. And I was like, man, I ain't never seen him this focused before. I was like, I'm just about to, and even Skeet had said something to you, and I was about to stop him before he said it, but I was like, nah, but I was like, fuck it, he already.
Yeah, he asked me what the weight was.
Yeah, I was like, man, he too far. I ain't never seen him that focused. I don't even want to interrupt you right now.
I mean, it's a big thing. The more people you get there, it's like that. I don't understand that. Like that focus, you have to be like, you know, it's just mentally pushing yourself. Plus, you want to outdo everybody there.
Yeah, it is hard, man, because like I said, my furthest one was West Virginia, but my next one, thankfully, it'll be Columbus in July. So that's my next meet. But that meet is hopefully going to be my qualifier for WPO, with World Powerlifting Organization this year, and that is set to be out in Vegas. So, you know, thankfully this one in Columbus opened up, because the other one that I was gonna have to do was either gonna be one in New Hampshire, or Atlanta, or Billings, Montana. And when the Billings, Montana one came up, I was panicking a little bit, because I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm able to get anybody out there with me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get my suit on. I don't know how I'm gonna get my shirt set. I don't know who's gonna hand out to me. Like, and then the one in New Hampshire opened up. I'm like, okay, cool, bet. And I'm going up there. That one's the beginning of May. I'm going up there anyways to support a friend that's lifted at that one. And I was like, well, maybe I'll jump in on that one, but do I want to impede on, you know, already him being up there, and you know, we're with the same crew, so it's like, dang, you know, hey, I know we're up there to help Jeff, but hey, I'm also jumping in too, you know. And then thankfully they were like, hey, we got one going on in July. I'm like, thank God, you know, I'll do that one. But even with that being said, like I said, Vegas is going to be the next one. So I'm telling all my guys now, like, hey, if you're able to come, I greatly appreciate it, you know. I know the Doghouse guys will be there. They're going to be there for me. They're going to be able to help me. But obviously, I want some 740 guys there. So
yeah, man, I'm kind of known in Vegas. They keep a suite ready for me on.
The La Quinta ain't a suite, big bro.
I mean, it is La Quinta suite in.
So with that, like, I qualify for nationals, and
where's that at?
Nationals this year is Denver, Colorado, June 8th.
Okay.
And I'm like, I had micro tears in my rotator cuffs. And I was like, man, like after my last competition, because it was Viking press, and it wasn't anything heavy. It was only like 250, 260 for reps. Got like 12, 15 of them, something like that. I think it was like 15.
Nice.
But my shoulders was done.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I took time off, and I'm like, do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? And I'm like, man, I have to go out here by myself.
Yeah.
So I know it. I'm like, ugh. Like,
yeah.
So I kept procrastinating. I'm like, man, I'm not even trying to do nationals this year. It's Denver, Colorado, without my, you know, anybody there.
Yeah.
It's already hard for me to go to like Indiana and like no one there. So
yeah.
Then you're going to Denver, Colorado, which if I go, I want to have, you know, people there like we could go look at shit before.
Yeah. Have you ever been out there?
Never been out there.
It's beautiful, man.
Never been out there. So
beautiful.
I'm like, well, I was like, you know, especially like it's June 8th. I'm like, it's summertime, still nice, and like, I don't have anybody can go with me.
Yeah.
I'm not taking all these kids out there. Like, but you know, so you know, it's not a big deal. Still shows going on, still competitions going on. So I'm gonna start training for another comp. I haven't looked at it yet, see where I'm gonna train, but it always varies, and it's like I'm trying to get my girl into it. She's trying to get her into it. She's 140 pounds, but she can. She bench presses like she can rep 135 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. It's always easier. That's how I conned my girl into like, if you get into this, then it ain't got to be, because I've had you know, girlfriends in the past where it turns into, well, you're always at the gym and we never spend time together. And I'm like, I'm gonna get this one in the gym too. So now it's an us thing, you know.
Well, for us, like our us thing is at 4 a.m. because we
That's
have,
a y'all thing. I ain't doing none of that.
Well,
That's
but there's times where I get up and I'm like, I walk down to the garage. I'm like, man,
it's a love and hate having your stuff at home, isn't it?
absolutely.
Because we was doing them 6 a.m.s.
Yeah.
And I swear on everything, I'd get dressed and then I'd sit in bed because the way my house is set up, I can see everybody pull in and from my bedroom. So I'm sitting there, I'm like,
Don't pull in.
if I don't see no headlights pull in within the next 15 minutes, I'm just gonna go ahead and close my eyes. You know?
Right. And like for me, it's like she gets up early. Like she wakes me up. Like, let's go. So yeah, there's times where I think this week it was like, today's Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, Sunday, Monday, and I went down, sat there. Like, man, I am not even doing anything. I'm just And but like that's our time.
Yeah.
We talk and stuff, and it's definitely the time where we can bond and we can do stuff, and
Yeah.
like because she works at the prison too, so we like
Oh, okay.
Kind of figure out how each other's day was like before and stuff like that. But yeah, we do everything at home. Like I can't deal with like the big gym and stuff like that.
Yeah. I always find people the bigger things, man. It's like I don't know. It's just different. It's different. You got people that are in there just to be there, or just to say that they go or whatever it is.
With their own agendas.
Yeah.
Somebody, a couple people in there reckless eyeballing.
Man, reckless looking, and or looking reckless,
Right?
And we're in there for a purpose. We're in there for a reason. We're in there
Right.
for a goal. So it doesn't make us better than them. It just makes our drive different.
I'll be like doing something at the Y or going in there to pick up the kid or something, and I'm like, why are y'all wearing wrist wraps? What are you wrist wrapping? And again, like
Wrist wraps all the way down here.
Yeah.
I can't say that. I've corrected so many people that come over there and their wrist wraps are right here, and I'm like, hey, you see
Right.
this? What is this doing? Oh, I don't know.
I try I just let people do their thing. I because what makes you know that I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, okay, keep doing.
Yeah.
But like, see, like for strongman, like I don't know how you guys are. We don't put the loop through our thumb.
We're not allowed to either.
Yeah, we don't either. So it's just wrap it on tight. And I think the first time I don't really use them anymore. Even like I think I used them for like a log press, and it was all right. But I just got used to doing it without it. So I have them, but I don't.
I see people use them for deadlift, wrist wraps for deadlift, and I and even squat. I can justify it with squat depending on where you put your hands. I think when it comes to deadlift, it's more of just like a comfort thing, I guess. Maybe
Definitely.
other, instead of a blanket, know. But I'm similar to you. Like when it comes to things like that, I ain't even gonna sit here and try and argue with you, or why you trying to do that.
Nah, my squat's horrible. Like I have no
Mine too, apparently.
Yeah, but I don't have mobility in my shoulders. Like I can't grab the bar like that. So I use a safety squat bar now.
Okay, what brand do you got?
I think I bought a Titan one.
Okay.
Like I was like, because at my home gym, I'm not buying the big ones. Like I could, but we ain't trying to do your weight.
We
ain't doing that. If I have people come in like, I'm doing 6 and sitting, hey Jonah, be like.
Oh, you're gonna send them over ruin my bars, okay?
Right.
Yeah, there's some brands out there. I think the next one I want to get is an Elite FTS one because their pad's thicker. We got a Rogue one. It's all right. I mean, we definitely paid the Rogue price.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's why I was wondering.
Right.
What we got.
Like, I just can't. My arms don't go back anymore for like regular squats.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about going numb.
Have you ever had a giant camber bar?
I have not. I'm actually going to get one.
Okay, I have one out at my spot. If you ever want to try one, it's out there. But that might be something that'll be beneficial to you too.
Right, like Doug's gonna make one. I mean, he makes them.
Yeah.
He made my yoke. He makes all this stuff. Like,
I think he made Corey's as well, or maybe Corey uses somebody else. But I know that he had just got a giant caper bar made as well.
probably could have been from Doug.
Probably because I think he also has a hammer from him.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, it's so Doug's made my yoke. My yoke I love it, and actually he made it so you can bench press, squat, pretty much do anything from it. So the catch arms you can use it like. For us, log pressing, we'll put it at shoulder height, put the log on. So my yoke is there, catch arms with the log on it, and I can just press from that.
Nice.
So you're just working on that eccentric lift.
Yeah.
And so I use that, but like if I bench from it and my girl's not there,
Yeah.
I'm not going to kill myself.
Yeah.
So we do but you can do everything from my yoke. And then
Nice.
I think it holds up to like 1,500 pounds.
Damn.
I ain't yoke walking that thing anymore. No.
Yeah.
I go to 600 and that's it.
Yeah.
But it's Rule 12, we do everything from strongman to regular lifting, but speed is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I love doing the speed stuff and the agility stuff. I like doing the athletes, like the track guys, the football players and stuff like that, just making them better, guys and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, shout out my guy Morris. Rule 12. Look for the website coming up.
Yep.
If right now if somebody wants to find you, Instagram or Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay. Facebook.
It's just right now it's under just Sean Morris.
Okay.
Just Facebook message me and we get started.
There you go, man. There you go.
We do plyometric stuff. We do everything. We try to just have everybody. And again, if I can't do it, I'm going to send you to Jonah. I'm going to send you wherever.
Yeah.
Because it's my thing. I think too many people get tied up in I do this and this, and this, or Jonah's stronger than you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm almost 50 years old. I don't care who's stronger than me
But
now.
can he fight though?
I know
I can't. Why?
I know I can fight. Here's the thing. I'm old. I am old, so you're getting a good 30 seconds out of me. And it's going to be painful for 30
That
seconds.
sound like cardio too.
But, yeah, it's I'm not one of those people I do this and I'm only going to do this. Whether it's pure function CrossFit, I promote that. I promote that all the time. I know people that work for me that go or work with me go there.
Yeah.
He's helped with a ton of stuff. Acupuncture. I had my knee replacement. Went out there and acupuncture and stem and everything on my knee for my knee replacement.
Yeah, he's good people out there.
Yeah, and it's just if I need something, he actually hooked me up with my first strongman workout. He told me, hey, get a hold of my dude, this, and messaged him, and he designed my first workout.
Nice.
But I'm never gonna be that person who's oh, don't go to Jonah, don't go to Phase 6, don't do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
We can't do that as a fitness area.
Yeah.
I'll talk shit about Planet Fitness, don't get me wrong. We'll talk shit.
Yeah, if we coming for your neck.
Because I just imagine selfie sticks and everything in there. And, it's crazy. My son will be like, Dad, I went to Planet Fitness. It's man.
Why?
And, his girl may not want to come over and work out. So it's let's go to Planet Fitness. He's like, oh, Dad.
Listen, I've been to Planet Fitness twice, and I made sure that most of my time spent there was in them damn massage beds. I'm I can do this. The massage beds in here, man. The water jet. Mm-hmm. But now I feel like Marion's got a plethora. One, it's got a plethora of athletes.
It does.
I mean, I wish that we were pumping out more athletes than we are because we have the potential. There's a lot of knowledge in Marion and just across sports, period, and athletic training and speed, strength, mobility, all of that. I mean, Marion's got it. If I'm being honest, there's every section somebody is excelling at it, coaching wise. Mm-hmm. So, I wish Marion was able to pump out more athletes than we have.
And I was even thinking earlier today, I was like, because I knew we was gonna have this conversation, and it's like, well, what are we doing to help them get to that next level? You know what I'm saying? Because like you have those arguments on Facebook, like who was the best high school this or high school quarterback. But it's like, hell yeah, that's what's up. But what did he do after that? I mean, he did that while he was 14 to 17.
But here's the thing, like I'm not a big fan of like what he do after that.
Yeah.
Like because not every kid's goal is at that. Not every kid can afford to do that. So I'm not a big fan of what he do. Now don't get me wrong. Was I that person 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older and seen kids, whether it's go to school and not make it, or go to school to stress. So I'm not like. Definitely like we have these athletes, we have this, that, and the other. From Harding having athletes to Ridgedale to Pleasant to all these schools. I think the biggest thing that hurts Marion is just like all the schools. You imagine if we had these like if we had two schools.
Hey, you preaching to the choir on this one, bro. I swear. I have said if Elgin and Ridgedale teamed up and then Pleasant River Valley and Harding got together,
yeah,
there's literally no reason that we would not be making run at state in damn near every sport. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I fully believe now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of egos when it comes to the coaching of coaching a one single school that size. But you get it figured out for the kids, man.
Honestly, like if you think about it right now, you've got CJ at Pleasant. You've got Harding's coach, but I don't know him.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him.
You got Waddle at River Valley. You got Corey at Ridgedale. Like, I know right there those three could get along I know all three right there could get along because they all coached together at Harding. And then Corey and Matt both coached with me. But put those two together, it's like boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I know it could happen. It would be exciting. It should, but at the same time, I think that these kids, there's a ton of potential, every kid. But I think we want them to go to college. We want them to better themselves and then come back and better their community, whether it's here or whatever community they go into. So I think that's where, as athletes, coaching athletes, I think we need to figure out a way to do a big summer thing, like rent out the fucking Coliseum and say, okay, we're going to do this, whether it's Bryson and you and me and whoever else, we all get together and put on something out there.
That was going to be my next thing because it's more realistic to get more of a one training complex or facility than it would be to, mix two schools into one or mix two schools and make it one. So I've said for years, I don't know, I think I've said it to you. I know I've said it to a bunch of other people. I'll be the first one to tell you when it comes to footwork, don't come to me. When it comes to mobility, definitely don't come to me. Okay, don't come to me. When it comes to explosive power and strength, and I can help out with explosive speed, I can do that. I can handle that. I know those things. But I don't know everything about those things. I've always felt like if we were to be able to come together and everybody put everybody's ego completely to the side and be like, hey, I know more about this, you know more about that, you know more about that. Are you cool with that? Are you cool with that? Are you cool with that? Okay, let's turn something out in Marion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for the kids. Let's don't worry about what he's saying or what they're saying. If you got a disagreement, let's talk about it behind closed doors and come to a conclusion that's going to benefit the kids.
Right.
I fully believe the potential and the talent that Marion has in the kids could be fueled and projected if we all came together. I fully believe that if there was one sports complex that we could all get together and, this day you're with this person, that day you're with that person, you're learning this day, that day, like a D1. Do you remember when D1 was down in Columbus? If we could have that, man, oh my God.
I sent Kingston down there, like he was like one of the last people down there, like before they sold it to whatever they got in there now. And that facility, like that's a nice facility, but I felt like that's probably the best training he's had, you know what I'm saying, since I had him in training because it was like he was around a lot of like athletic kids, you know what I'm saying? And I just liked that program they had down there.
J.L. Holdsworth does, have you ever heard of The Spot Athletics down in Columbus? Do you know who J.L. is? J.L. was a big West Side guy. He had a couple world records. And then he opened up a spot down in Columbus called The Spot Athletics. And he has trainers down there. And he goes over weekly with his trainers. Every week he has a meeting with every single one of his trainers, and he goes over their training for that week and their programming for that week. And it's to ensure that everybody is getting a little piece of everybody in the right way. Now, he'll, again, be one of the first ones to tell you, I don't know everything. So he brings in outside help. He brings out in outside doctors, mobility specialists, speed specialists, and they all convene on, the programming that needs to go. And they've turned out some athletes down there, man. I was just talking to Anthony Oliveira this past weekend, and he was telling me about it. He was like, dude, he is so structured and strict on making sure these kids are getting the right stuff. He said that they won't even let, if they can't do a goblet squat without like their heels coming up or toes coming up or something like that, they're not even allowed to put a bar in their back. It's like they have to go through mobility stages.
Make sure those hips can move and everything
before they can even put a bar on their back or on their hands. And so like they're that in depth with it.
That's good.
Yeah, and there's no, again, like I said, there's no reason that we can't do something similar to like that in Marion. Right. And what you said about the Coliseum of having one day, we're bringing, and it comes back to egos on the coaches, of football coaches, but, hey, we're, bringing in other people, not just us, Marion people, but bringing in other people to have these conversations with coaches just for the community, for the kids, to put Marion on the map. That's one of my biggest things of why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I want to be a small part of putting Marion on the map. And I would love to do that for the kids, through the kids, you know. So,
and like everybody I train, I'm just like, I train you like you're an athlete, man, woman, child, age doesn't matter. I'm training you like you're an athlete. When I do personal training, as in certified through ISSA for a while now. I'm working on my NASM certification,
awesome.
And I train like an athlete. When I was down at Lifetime Fitness, like people were like, oh, cookie cutter workouts, because you're getting everybody just coming in. You're getting everybody coming in. So say I train Jonah, comes in, like, okay, you're gonna do this, but as they're doing it, they're over here looking at this girl talking here. Oh, 2 more reps. That wasn't how I did it, so people didn't like me.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, he's, so I'd get like, they would, either shark my clients or give me like people they thought I couldn't train. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll train anybody. And like, even like my dude, Andrew Mitchell, he was training down there and stuff, and as working with us and stuff, him and I both were Marion, so we're like, they didn't like him because he was an actual bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And, those are freaks.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And,
extremely disciplined.
Yes. My apartment may be just a mattress.
Yeah.
But you think I'm just like...
Yeah, no, that has...
They're like...
that they eat...
They're this. And he's, like I said, he's coming to the institution in a few weeks, but it is so disciplined and so, like, I can't do that. Like, I just eat.
Seafood diet, baby.
Right.
So you eat it.
Let eat. But it's when you have people just talking like, oh, I'm going to, I don't like him, this, and the other. And there's people like, I mean, even before meeting Jonah, people were like, oh, Jonah's stronger than you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
He ain't that strong.
And
I really ain't. I don't know. Y'all talking shit on the wrong person.
well, that's like at work when Julius came in, people were like, oh, can you lift like 7? Can you lift that? No.
Yeah.
Like, I do strongman. That's totally different than what Julius does, and they at work they think I'm big and stuff, and I'm like, again, I don't feel like I'm big, but then Julius came in and Midwest Kong and different people, like, they were like, "Holy shit!"
Man, Mr. Morris, you really ain't big.
Right.
Yeah, nobody's big to that dude.
No, it was crazy having them come in, but
Yeah, that was
and people
awesome.
seeing how they were, and then seeing them like they were like, "Oh, I saw him on the news was down there." They saw him on the news, like, "Oh, I saw him on the
Okay.
news," and
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I think the fitness world is definitely it's been here forever.
Yeah.
And it's going to be here when we're gone. But the biggest thing is like we try to make our mark. Like we got to, whether it's Rule 12, 740, whatever it may be, like we got to make our mark. We got to make that something that our kids like remember.
Yeah.
When I say our kids, I'm not talking about our little kids. I'm talking about the kids in the community, and they go out there and they're representing their family. Like that's the biggest thing. Like don't embarrass me. Like when I was coaching, don't embarrass me, the school, or your parents. I don't care what order you put that in. That's the 3 rules. Don't care what you do.
Yeah.
3 rules.
Man, you don't let them down. We all know you let them down.
So now I still have that same rule though. Like when I'm training high school kids, like don't embarrass me, your parents, or the school.
Yeah.
Like that's as simple as rules. Like, and I love to push the kids. I love seeing them compete and seeing them win.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like when I say win, it's not like the score, but win as in
Their personal
the
win.
personal win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate, first of all, I appreciate everything that you're doing right now in our community. And it's a lot. It's behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
It's, out of the public's eye. And the fact that you continue to do that speaks miles and miles for your character and your integrity of you don't have to be in the limelight to make sure you're doing the right thing for the men that are inside. So I applaud you for that. I appreciate you for that because again, you do things.
Or wrong button.
You hit the wrong button.
We got an applause on there.
Stupid. This our producer.
Well, with that, like people don't understand, like this year when I was like I told Davian, like I said, I'm using every contact on my phone this year. I tried to get into the prison, and just because 60% of the inmates that are in the prison are going to get out and be our neighbors in the community, this and that. So we can't, whatever crime they committed, I don't look at. I try not to look at, but when they're in there, I try to better them. So when they get out and they're around us or around our families or whoever, they're better people.
Absolutely.
So I'm working on, like Davion came in, Dr. Dillard from Marion Tech came in and talked during Black History Month. Matt Bell came in, who runs Team Recovery up in Toledo, and like that dude's doing some things up in Toledo, and he's really working on that. And then Julius came in, and the thing is, like Julius came in, people don't understand. Julius talked about recovery and addiction.
Yeah.
Like that was his thing. It was like recovery and addiction. So, and people just see him as, this big, strong guy. Not that, and he told his story from selling drugs to going to prison to doing this, and a lot of people don't see that side of him, and that's what I need. I want the inmates to see. I want that they can still do something. Hopefully, when they get out.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, but yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate everything you're doing in the community. And everything you're doing for the kids.
Yes, sir.
Rule 12, man, like I said, Rule 12, reach out if you've got a young athlete that you're wanting to tune up and get, thrown up.
He got me looking like this when I was.
That was not the best. That was not the best promo, big cuz. That was not the best pro. Edit that part out, all right? We trying to get them clients, not lose them clients.
Just, hit me up on Facebook, like Sean Morris, like message me and we'll get started. Like we do it. Again, like if I can't do something, I'm gonna reach out to somebody else that can, and make you whoever the best, and like promote everybody. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
awesome, man. Again, appreciate you coming in.
Yep.
Definitely ain't gonna be the last time.
Thank you.
So, and good luck at whatever competition you got. Make sure you let us know. Well, as long as it ain't in Indiana or Denver. I don't know. I might come to Denver. Denver's beautiful, man. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna be in the hotel room with you, but I'll talk to you down in the lobby. You feel me? But thank you again, man, and be looking out for everything that Sean Morris does, man. So appreciate you.
All right.
Got Big Dive, Coach Sean Morris. This the Push and Weight Show.